Good afternoon. This is Cara Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. I'm probably going to put this video on 3 different platforms. And the reason is because I just happened to be looking for like 3 minutes as I was running around doing a bunch of chores. I just looked at something on Snapchat, because they have those Snapchat live things. I'm not generally on Snapchat, and I'm not going to release that. That's private information. This is Cara Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More, by the way. And, it was the typical charismatic bullshit. A hunky dude, white dude, had spent 70 hours painting a depiction of the King of Kings, white bearded man, which is bullshit. Go read the New Testament already. Who knows how much money that person's going to make, and I can guarantee you that's MAGA, Republican, because they're all about showing off their artistic side and making it charismatic enough that you'll still believe in the King of Kings being a white man hanging on a cross, which he wasn't. He was, as clearly stated in the New Testament, a very common looking man. He was just a normal looking man. Cara, but this is today. Go fuck yourself. The man who actually did that, he said he would return. He did not say that he was going to have the holes in his wrists or hands, whatever. Ouch. No, I'm not crying this time. And in his feet, ankles, wherever. Ouch. No, I'm not crying this time. It makes me ill to think about it, though. He didn't say he was coming back in that body form. But my fucking God and goddess, y'all have taken artistic license way too far on the man's life. Evangelical, Protestant, Catholic, what the fuck ever you call yourselves. Honestly, the Muslim testimony of the prophet named Jesus Christ is way more accurate, coming out of brown-skinned mouths who didn't actually believe in his saving grace as far as dying and arising. But they do revere him as a prophet. I think they have more respect for the man and the book than you do. White Christianity, white Catholicism, white evangelical, white grand old party already. Okay. This is a difficult video for one reason. That's not actually what I was going to talk about, but it segues into it because the misrepresentation of the King of Kings in the modern day in this small A America is so broad. Most of us who are dealing with the actual return of the King of Kings have to walk it off on a regular basis, as in, oh my fucking God and Goddess, what did they say now? Face to face, social media, you name it, we're walking a lot. Walking it off. That's probably the best thing to do in our situations as the seers that we are, immortal as we are. Archangel, angel, whatever, we'll tell you who we are. We read books, we talk about things, we pontificate together. If we are privileged to be together in the same room at times, we have to make sure we don't argue because of the differences of opinions about some things, including the life of the King of Kings back in the day. But, I stay out of all of that. Have done for a long time. Wouldn't even sit through a preacher's teaching because oh my fucking God and Goddess, since the age of 7, I've heard it all. I've heard it all, Protestant church. You're lucky I haven't walked in with duct tape. Since 2008, you are lucky. I am not kidding because I do not care. Now, a dear friend of mine and I, on my main Twitter, he helped me. Again, he's very sweet about that, and Um, I didn't put this on my blogs. I'm not sure I should anymore. So I'm being careful with my blogs. And I was just weeping inside about sexual molestation of children because it's just a never ending injury to a lot of people in our society. And it causes issues far and wide. And so I said, somebody please help me here. And on another discussion I was having with myself, maybe, because I form threads like blog articles, he brought in a video, and it was of a girl, and she was openly admitting she had been very terribly sexually abused as a child, as like 1 year old, and she remembered it. Remember her vagina being hurt and being bleeding and stuff, and it was her father. And her new parents had to deal with her harming her younger brother and animals and everything. She had no conscience to the nth degree, and she kept admitting she wanted to kill her parents, her adoptive parents, and her brother. And they were showing a whole documentary about it, and it was heart-wrenching. But she pulled out in the end with a lot of therapy, and she was taking care of pets and everything. See, and she found her feelings. And she showed remorse. They videoed her. She showed remorse for having hurt her brother so much and everything. And so she was healing and healed and kept going. And it's a beautiful testimony. And they went into churches and stuff. So I have two sides about churches. I do. So I want to say something, because they had to take her to a place where there were other younger children who had actually killed siblings and parents and whatnot at very, very young ages and had no conscience about it. And people go completely bunk about that. I mean, I understand that, but I have something to say. They do need to show remorse, or they have to remain incarcerated, because they'll do it again. But they can be healed, is what my friend was saying, and that's true. And we need universal health care, including therapy. I've always said my mother should have had therapy all of her life after what happened to her as a child in the Catholic Church. Okay, so I have something to say, and take it or leave it. But I am a seer. I'm a very powerful seer. The reason those children kill is that they are high-level intelligent seers who have been severely damaged on this side, and they understand that on the other side, those people, animals, will not hurt anymore like they have been hurt. Yes, they have to show remorse for their actions on this side, but there is something to be said for understanding the soul of a child understands themselves. And I am a person who does not have to have been there to tell you that something is possible, because every one of those children deserved to have paradise here where they were appreciated. This child knew that her father had stuck his fingers in her private parts and made her bleed. She acted like her father, and then wanted to kill her brother and animals and her parents that were adoptive. Think about that. And she healed, and she showed remorse. She made sense of it. I certainly hope her father is in jail, and if he's not, we already know he's going to burn forever. This is Cara Coffey of the Ministry of